Our body generally tries to think about the past, whereas our mind tries to think about the future. Yoga can be an excellent practical science to bring our body and mind together. We at the Indian Dietetic Association strongly believe that yoga and nutrition go hand in hand. So let's enjoy our present by making yoga a part of our daily routine.
Let's start with the stretching asanas. For that, let's begin with Tadasana. So for Tadasana, keep some space in between your feet. Raise up on your toes as much as possible. Slowly lift your hands up. Stretch it as if you are touching the sky. Keep stretching as much as possible. To balance, focus at one point. Keep looking at one point. Keep breathing in and breathing out. Let that be normal. It gives a nice stretch to your back and all the muscles of the body. To release the asana, slowly take the legs and the hands down simultaneously.
In Talasana or the palm tree pose, we can imagine that in a final position, our body is like the stem of the tree and our stretched arms are like the branches of the tree with the leaves around. So while we are doing this posture, we are definitely getting a very good stretch for our entire back, which can be a good way of relaxing your back in between the work hours that you have. And also, because we are expected to balance ourselves on the toes, we have to focus at one point. So this is a very good way of remembering back that in this current scenario where we are trying to multitask and do many things at a time, focusing at one thing is really essential.
Second one in the stretching asana is the chair pose or Utkatasana. Let's begin. Keep some distance in between the feet. Slowly squat down as if you are sitting on a chair. Raise the hands up straight from the elbows. This is the final posture. Keep looking straight. For balancing again, keep focusing at one point. This gives a good stretch to the muscles in the thighs and the muscles in the arms. Do it as per your capacity. Breathing should be normal. Slowly to come out of the asanas, take the hands down and raise up.
Chair pose is a very simple asana which helps us to develop the tone of our lower body. Especially when you are holding the asana, you will experience some kind of pressure at your knees, at your ankles, at your calf and even at your hamstring. So this pressure helps to actually tone up your muscles.
Stretching asana is Vakrasana. To begin, take both the legs together, hands by the side of the body. Slowly bend your right leg from the knee. Take the left hand ahead. Try and touch it on the toes. If it is not possible, you can touch it as wherever possible. The right hand will go behind the back. Straighten your back and slowly give a nice twist to your back or the spinal column. Turn and twist your head to the right back. This is the final posture. Close your eyes and breathe normally. To release the asana, slowly open your eyes. Take the head back to normal. The hand will come first back to normal. The second hand will go back to normal and release the leg. This is done again with the left leg. Repeat the same procedure again.
Vakrasana, we are giving a very good twist to our upper body. This is one of my favorite asana, especially whenever you are having long work hours. Vakrasana can give you a very good relaxation to your entire upper body. All of us like some twist in life, so this is definitely a very good twist in a yogic way. You can imagine this to be quite similar to you squeezing a cloth which is wet. So after washing many times, we squeeze the cloth nicely. So in the similar fashion, we can imagine our vertebral column, our spinal cord, our muscles getting a nice squeeze when we are doing Vakrasana.
Let's do Setu Bandhasan or the bridge pose. For that, take both the legs next to each other, hands touching the body. Slowly fold both the legs from the knees. Keep comfortable distance in between the knees. Now we will lift our hip, groin and the pelvic area so that it becomes a bridge or a slanted position, also called as Setu Bandhasana. Close your eyes. See that both the hands are straight, touching on the ground. Lift your groin region as much as possible. Keep breathing normally. To come out of the asana, open your eyes. Come back to the ground slowly, gradually. Straighten up your legs and relax.
When you hold the final position of Setu Bandhasan, you will experience a good amount of blood circulation towards your head. And then when you gradually release the posture, you will again experience good amount of blood circulation towards your entire body. So this means that we are able to obtain a good control of blood circulation while doing and releasing this asana. And that helps to deal with issues of digestive system, especially a very simple problem of indigestion. Also, when you are holding the posture, you are stretching your back to a very good extent. And this helps to ensure the fitness of your back, especially in the current scenario of lockdown where we are using a lot of screen.
Let's start Bhujangasana or the Cobra pose. For that, take both the legs together, forehead on the ground, hands by the side of the body. Slowly slide your head so that the chin is on the ground. Keep both the hands next to the chest. Now we will raise our upper torso so that you form a cobra. Lift your head as much up as possible. You get a nice back stretch on your lower back. Keep breathing. To come out of the asana, slowly open your eyes. Go back on the ground straight and relax.
You can imagine our vertebral column to be like a hollow pipe from which wires are passing. So these wires are actually the spinal nerves. Okay, so to maintain the health of your spine, which is supported with the muscles and the nerves, this cobra pose acts like a very good stretch. Okay? Just like how we can imagine a cobra raising his entire body and showing its power. Similarly, when we raise ourselves in that position, we can energize our entire spinal column. So this ensures that we give a very good stretch to our entire spinal column, including our back and the muscles, by raising ourselves and stretching it from our back till our neck.
Let's do Shalbhasana or the locust pose. For that, let's take both the legs together, forehead on the ground. Lift both the legs from the thighs. Slowly take the chin on the ground. This is the final posture. Keep your eyes closed. Ones who cannot practice this can take both the fists, place it under the thighs and lift both the legs. Breathe normally. To release the asana, open your eyes, slowly place the legs down and relax.
When we hold ourselves in the final position of Shalbhasana or the locust or the grasshopper pose, we are trying to hold our legs against the force of gravity with the help of our abdominal muscles and our lower back muscles. So when you hold the posture, you will try to feel a good amount of pressure and a good amount of stretch at the abdomen and the back. This helps to release the stiffness and improve the function of both these areas. Kindly perform all the asanas as per your capacity. Do not compete or do not try to overdo. If you have any medical issues, kindly seek correct guidance before you try any of these asanas. It is very important that at any point of time you should not hold your breath. It should be a rhythmic breathing that you try to follow throughout the postures. Some point of time, all of us must have experienced that when we are angry, our breathing becomes fast, and when we are happy, our breathing is generally calm. So yes, definitely your thoughts can affect your breathing, and we can even use breathing to affect your thoughts. So this type of practice in which we try to obtain a control over our breathing, in yoga it is called as pranayam. Today we will try to demonstrate one very simple technique of pranayam, which is called alternate nostril breathing or Anulom Vilom. So to perform this, you must sit in a very comfortable position. You can use your right hand. With the right hand, with the thumb, you first try to close your right nostril. You inhale through your left nostril. Then you exhale through your right nostril. Now, after exhaling, you inhale back through your right nostril. And you exhale through your left nostril. This completes one set. You can perform such multiple sets. So if you observe, we did breathing from alternate nostrils, and we tried to do it in a very rhythmic way. Ideally, we try to follow a ratio wherein if you had taken your breath in 4 counts, you try to breathe out in 8 counts, which means that you want your exhalation to be longer than your inhalation. Now this helps to control the amount of gas or air that is getting filled up in your lungs. So we try to inhale good air, and we try to exhale out what we've already used and made carbon dioxide in our body. So this kind of alternate nostril breathing helps a lot to focus and to be able to synchronize your thoughts. You are even able to obtain a control over your thoughts. Many a times we are tensed, we are stressed, there are multiple thoughts coming on in our mind, or we are a little worried about the performance that we have to give, or an interview that you have to do, or an exam that you have to write. So performing Anulom Vilom just few seconds before the moment which is going to give you some stress helps you a lot in regulating your energies to energize yourself. So do try doing Anulom Vilom at regular basis and rejuvenate yourself.